My best friend is a witch. Amaka, a young girl full of ambition, was admitted into the prestigious University of Lagos, popularly known as UNILAG. In her first year, she met a girl named Gosife, and the two quickly became inseparable friends. Their bond was particularly strong because they both hailed from the same local government in Enugu. Amaka trusted Gosife completely and shared everything with her. One day, Amaka brought Gosife home to meet her parents. While her father welcomed the friendship, Amaka's mother felt an inexplicable unease whenever Gosife was around. Soon after, Amaka's mother began having strange dreams involving Gosife. She confided in her husband, but he brushed it off, urging her to accept the friendship. Before Amaka returned to school after the holidays, her mother advised her to pray and stay committed to God. Amaka agreed but failed to follow through once she was back at school. Over the months, Amaka began noticing a drastic change in her life. Opportunities that once seemed promising dried up. She stopped finding favor with people, her relationships with men were always short-lived, and her life grew increasingly miserable. Amaka's struggles became even more pronounced after her father fell ill and died from a mysterious sickness. Despite all this, Amaka remained close to Gosife, confiding in her as always. Strangely, Amaka had never visited Gosife's family home, as Gosife claimed she had grown up with her now-deceased grandmother. One day, Amaka met a young man who showed serious interest in her. For a brief moment, she felt hopeful, but like the others before him, he suddenly began to distance himself. Frustrated and desperate for answers, Amaka returned home during her internship and told her mother everything that had been happening. Amaka's mother took her to see a pastor in their village. After praying with her, the pastor instructed her to undergo 3 days of fasting and prayer. Amaka obeyed, and at the end of the fasting, she had a vivid dream. In the dream, Gosife appeared, furious, and accused her. "Why did you send fire against me? Do you think you can have anything better than me? Do you think you're more beautiful than me?" When Amaka woke up, she relayed the dream to the pastor. He advised her to cut ties with Gosife immediately and to stay prayerful even while at school. Amaka returned to school determined to follow the pastor's advice. She noticed that Gosife's behavior toward her had shifted, her once close friend now seemed cold and hostile. Amaka began avoiding her at all costs, found a church to attend, and developed a habit of nightly prayers. One morning after her prayers, Gosife showed up at Amaka's doorstep, her face twisted with anger. "You think you'll win this battle?" Gosife hissed. "If you continue, you will die." Summoning her courage, Amaka declared, "For I bear in me the marks of the Lord Jesus, nothing can harm me. Instead, you will be the one to perish." After Gosife left, Amaka immediately called her pastor and recounted the encounter. The pastor urged her to undergo another 3 days of fasting and prayer. At the end of the fasting, Amaka received shocking news: Gosife had died early that morning. Before her death, witnesses reported hearing Gosife mumbling, "Amaka, forgive me. I locked your destiny. Please forgive me." Fear and shock gripped Amaka, but she leaned on her faith for strength. Following Gosife's death, Amaka's life began to transform. Opportunities resurfaced, and favor followed her wherever she went. In time, a serious suitor approached her for marriage, and Amaka's life turned around for the better. Moral of the story: be careful who you call your friend, as not everyone has good intentions for you. Always seek God's guidance and protection in every area of your life.